You see me, I see you. Got it. All right. Anyways, welcome to my channel. It's my first video. My first uno numero. I don't think that's how you say it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you want to listen, listen. If you don't, you don't. And that's on that. I don't know. I really want to make this like a no judgment free zone and just to like talk about some things because, you know, I personally feel like this day and age, we're at a point where there's mad shit that goes on in people's lives, and especially with COVID happening and we all got to sit in our rooms with our trauma and like dealing with our issues, it gets a little worse. And I noticed that a lot of people don't talk about mental illness. And it's important. Like, that shit is so important because it basically makes you who you are. You do certain things, you act certain ways because of your past trauma, you know, feel me? So I wanted to, you know, break the ice. I wanted to make it a little bit normal because I feel like it personally should be normalized, but it's not. And that's an issue. That's really an issue. So I wanted to tell a little story, a little time about my experience getting molested, you know, from my older brother, which I don't talk to now. And basically, borderline, it started with us. This was when I was like 7, 8-ish. I wasn't too old. Like, I was really young. I don't know what age it was, though. I can't recall that. But that was when I actually lived in the projects, you know, the ghetto.
Ooh! Ah, the ghetto! The ghetto. The ghetto.
That was when I lived in the projects. That's when, you know, we were sleeping and then boom, out of nowhere, there was a bullet. You know, shower window, we had to replace our window every fucking week. Ooh. We had to replace our window every week, pretty much. Because there was this one room where it was like on the side and they used to have shootouts. And they used to always get the window. I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? What is this? What are we doing here? People, we're sleeping here. You know what I'm saying? So, that happened. But it's whatever. Yeah, I lived in the house for a little time. You know, I lived in the house for a little time. Before that, you know, we moved. That's when we actually moved to a location called Bridgeport. You probably don't know what that is. Nobody knows what that is. If you know what Connecticut is, that's where it is. But yeah, the worst part of Connecticut. Feel me? Like Bridgeport got it. I'm gonna just say that. Yeah. So I had shared a room with my older brother. We had bunk beds at the time. It wasn't too big of a room. We had a little walk-in closet, which was nice just because, you know, we were in a ghetto with Section 8, you know. But yeah, it was a little decent sized closet. We shared a closet. And he was in a top bunk bed. I was on the bottom, pretty much. There was times where he would come in my bed. My father, we don't have the same father. We have different fathers. We have the same mother though. But it was my father, my mother, my little sister, and my older brother that basically lived in that household at the time. I shared a room with him. My little sister had her own room, and there was my father and mother, of course. Pretty much, there was just moments where I kind of noticed as a child, like, well, I didn't really notice anything, to be honest, until I got really older. And I was like, oh, this is sick. This is sick as fuck. This is wrong. But, you know, it took me some time. I didn't know I was a child at the end of the day. So there was moments where he would get into my bed at night, you know. I remember there was a couple of times where my father used to just like walk past the room at night just because, you know. And he'd be like, oh, get in your bed. Get in your bed. Get in your bed, Charles. Get in your bed, Charles. We're going to call him Charles. Get in your bed, Charles. You know what I'm saying? And that's obviously not his name. Don't ask. But you're like, get in your bed, Charles. And he used to get in the bed, of course. But, you know, when there were people around, that's when the touching, you know, saying certain things, introducing me to certain things. Like, I was introduced. I was introduced to, like, certain things. We had a Wii. And he used to watch graphic videos on the Wii. He used to watch graphic videos on the Wii, you know, introduced to that. And then it slowly turned into, oh, okay, cool, these people are doing it, let's do it. And I was like, no. No. But I'm a child. And I had a speaking problem at the time. So it's like I didn't really speak up for myself. It was really hard for me. I had thoughts in my head, but every time I tried to talk about these thoughts, like, or just like project these thoughts out, they would never come out. It was like I had the thoughts, my mouth would open up and all that, but it was just me being stuck and I could not say anything. I just got scared. Yeah, so pretty much it led from the whole getting into my bed, touching me, inappropriately. Then there was moments where I was locked in a bathroom. I was locked in a bathroom. Like, he would force me to get in the bathroom, lock the bathroom. Like, this man didn't even take showers. If I'm gonna be honest, this man would go in the bathroom and just run the shower and then hop out. That's the type of person that he was. He wouldn't even take showers properly, but he would do that. And even when my parents would leave, because mind you, they do work, they gotta pay the rent.
You're not paying their rent.
But they gotta pay the rent. Yeah, they gotta pay the rent. The bills gotta be paid.
Cause the bills due now, not later. So send the motherfucking funds.
And that's when things would get a little escalated, because there was this game that he used to play where it was take off your clothes. I remember this vividly. This man is sick. Basically to take off your clothes and then also do sexual acts to him. There was a couch that my father had at the time. I don't know what is it a sofa? I think it might be a sofa. I don't know. It might be a sofa. But there's like a singular couch pretty much. It's like a chair. It's a chair. It's a singular chair, but it's like couch-like, if that makes sense. It reclines. A recliner. I think it's called a recliner. I think it's called a recliner. But yeah, I remember it was blue. He laid it back, and then he proceeded to make me give him head. Like, things of that nature would go on in the house, like when people were gone. I'm just like, what the fuck? There was down to the point where I remember him actually getting undressed and then running outside for, like, streaking pretty much outside. I was like, what the fuck? But I didn't process that as a child, So things like that would happen in the household. And mind you, this happened for over 2 years. Because I know that he was older than me. And that's kind of sad. I don't even know my brother's age, for real. Like, that says a lot. I mean, he was in his teenage years and I was a kid. I was a minor. I don't think those things should even happen. But they did. And, I had to live with that basically for the longest time. Just putting it out there. Which, it does bother. There's things, there's consequences, and there's like emotions, that come along later in your life when you actually understand, like, oh, this is wrong. I got molested. It took me a while to even understand that. It was like, yo, I really got molested from my older brother. It happened. And I think the best part of this is like actually realizing that it happened and taking the time to heal. That was a process. I literally told myself this year that I'm going to work on that. Every year I have goals for myself to work on certain things. And this year I told myself, like, all right, cool. Like, this did happen to me. Like, I am understanding it. I'm aware now, and I don't want it to continue to affect me. I'm a hustler. Like, I get money. I was working since I was 13. I'm just going to, I was working. Like, I was always getting money. There's a lot of people around me even that looked up to me. Probably still do look up to me, and I really appreciate it. I don't know why sometimes. Because I just do what I have to do to survive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my parents is there. But I did everything mostly for myself. And I'm going to take pride in that. I don't care. Because it's not easy. There's a lot of stuff that I did go through as a child. And that's not easy. That's not the easiest thing to go through. And I'm slowly starting to realize that. Like, I wish I had a childhood. And that's why I'm trying to live up my little teenage years that I have left. My little young adult years. Feel me? Like, there's a lot of things that I should do, like act my age, because I feel like I pushed myself to a limit where it was like, oh, I had to grow up real fast. And I missed a lot of things while doing that. Like, I did have a childhood, yes. But it took a while for me to get to that point where it was like, oh, you need to slow down. And it was because of this. Like, I had to grow up real fast. Dealing with that was not the easiest thing. And even down to dealing with it, I don't think is the hardest part. I feel like the hardest part of it was healing and getting to a point where it's like, all right, I'm not having a mental breakdown every 5 seconds. This is relatively new. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. Relatively no, but you know, I'm at a place right now where I'm happy, like, and I'm kind of glad that I got that out the way. So if it is bothering me every once in a while, cool beans, but it helps to talk about it. You know, it helps to talk about it, get it out there, because then it bothers you less just because you are aware of it. You know that it happened and you're moving on. You're not wearing your trauma on your sleeve. That's one thing that I cannot stand as a person, as a human being. Please, if you ever go through trauma, don't wear that on your sleeve. Don't make that your personality, because it tends to make you look ugly. And it's not necessarily your fault, but if you're going to carry yourself in that way, nobody's going to take you, like, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to want to be around you. And it makes things worse because you've already been through things. Don't always sit there and pouting and shouting. You know, that doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you nowhere. I think I was talking about that. At a point in my life where I was stuck, like literally stuck, down to the point where my mother noticed it and she wanted to have a conversation. Mind you, we're not necessarily saying that our family is not a family, but we weren't necessarily like the closest people coming up together, having conversations, the hugs, the how are you doing today? Like it's there now, you know. It's there now. It's showing. But before, that wasn't the case. I wasn't, you know. So for her to even bring that up and want to have a conversation like with me or talk to me, that was the kicker for me. And that kind of put it in my mind, is like, oh yeah, this is affecting me. This is bothering me. Like those qualities of being a hustler, being like a go-getter, getting my stuff together, you know, it wasn't being shown. It was like I was on a standstill, and I didn't like that, because I know my potential and I know where I can get. And this is, you know what I'm saying? I know where I can get, and then this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at right now. Knowing that I can be farther in life. No cocky, not even trying to be cocky about it. And that's the sad part. I know my potential. I know my worth. And for something to bother me that much, where it's like I'm sitting there depressed, and you can tell, there was moments where I even went to work and I had to get sent home, like just because I'm having a mental breakdown. Multiple times. I have the best manager. I swear to God, I really have the best manager and the best crew to work with, because we all work together. Like we all work together. We were like a little family. I want to talk about them in one of these videos. Watch, I'm gonna talk about that experience. But that helped a lot. Like they sent me home when I needed to be sent home. We worked together, you know, to help everybody, you know, stay above the water. Oh, also there was a moment in my life where my brother was taking pictures of me. Before, you know, we had the little flip phones, the flip phones, the sidekicks, and then the Blackberries. Feel me? We had all of them. And I had a little friend, I'm called Cheryl. Cheryl used to always have a phone. I swear to God, like she used to always have a phone. This was when I was in like kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Like first grade, second grade. She always had a phone, and she always made sure that I was straight. She was like, "You want this phone?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah." Because mind you, I'm a kid. Like, I had a camera in it. Like, it wasn't the best camera, but, you know, it was the best to me. So, I took it. With that phone, he took pictures of me. And my parents know about the phone, too. Like, he took pictures of me, and, like, a whole bunch of pictures. And they found it out. And I got my ass beat. I got whooped. You know, and that also bothered me. And I was like, damn, so, like, this man is doing things. Maybe I should just shut up. And that silenced me for a while. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand how you would just take pictures of somebody and then I get caught out for it and I get in trouble for it. It's like, damn, you got away with your lie. How you do that? How that work? I don't want to get to detail on things that did happen, but you know, there was a lot of touchy, feely. There was a lot of physical things going on, mental things going on, abuse. Not abuse. Ooh, I don't want to use the word abuse. But being molested does really like mess you up mentally. I'm sorry, being molested messes you up mentally. Like it really does mess you up, especially when it comes from somebody that is supposed to be close to you and be like, you know, your older brother, your protector, your guidance. I don't like that necessarily. Like I've never liked that necessarily, and it always made me a person to be standoffish, have trust issues, and I've always had my guard up for that, from that. And I'm working on it. There's a lot of things that I'm working on now in my life because of those situations. I'm getting a lot better. I could definitely say that. And I'm proud of myself. I came a long way, like a long way. Nobody would even understand how long of a way that I came. This is a whole journey for me, and I'm still on the journey, and we're getting better. But you know, you gotta take one step of it, one step at a time. And somebody even told me, like, yo, like, you gotta live in the moment. And I had a problem with that for a while because I've always been in survival mode. Like, there's people out there, I'm pretty sure, that understands what that means. Like, always on 10. And that's fine. That's fine. You know, that's fine. It makes better people, but it's just when you wear that shit on your sleeve, you wear that trauma on your sleeve, that's when it becomes an issue. And I don't want, you know, people to start doing that. So I decided, I was like, I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I've been actually thinking about making a podcast. But this was more convenient, you know, way more convenient. So why not? Why not? And that is something that I want a lot of people to understand. Like, yo, you can't just say that you want to do stuff. You got to do it. If you want to talk about it, do it. Be about it. Feel me? If you want to talk about it, be about it. Yeah, that's what point in my life that I'm at. I'm manifesting things, you know. If I say that I want to do something, I'm going to do it. We're getting there. Like, you know, I'm not perfect and nobody's perfect. But, you know, we're striving to get close as possible. Close as possible. In my mind. I don't know about anybody else's because nobody's opinion. I don't care about that. But anyways, that's my story. That's my story. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe. And I'll be back with another one. Just let me know. I don't know. I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of things that will happen in my life. If you want to hear, I'll tell you anything. Just tell me now. I'll tell you anything, to be honest. I'm very, that's the one thing. I'm very open. I don't care. Once I got past that caring part about people and their opinions, shit. I know I left off in the car, but I just wanted to say this because I noticed that I was rambling. One of them. I know I was rambling about the whole scenario between me and my transition. Pretty much, I moved to North Carolina. We'll get into that into another video. I'll have like a little story time, pretty much about like my moving experience to a whole new state, whole new school, all that fun stuff. And with all the things that I'm already used to, it was just the fact that I moved here. I had 2 jobs, canceled down to 1 just because of overscheduling, things of that nature. But yeah, pretty much when I did move here, it was work, and first it was school work, and then it was just work after high school. I'm very intelligent. I need to actually use my brain to the fullest capacity, which I do feel like I'm doing for the most part, but there's certain people that is just not built for school, and then there's me. I'm built for school. Like, I've always excelled in school, always been good in school. I personally feel like if I'm not doing anything, I should definitely be in school. Well, which I'm doing things which working, but still, like, I can maintain a healthy balance between work and school, and I know that because I've already been through it. So why not, you know, further education if you are able to? And like I said, I haven't said this, but I'm gonna say this now. It's not for everybody, and I kind of noticed that. I've even talked to certain people that it's just not for them. Like, it's not for them, and that's okay. Fine, but just make sure that you are doing something besides school that is either going to get you somewhere in life, or if you are the 9 to 5, or like you do have something that you're interested in, go for that. I don't know, whatever makes you happy in life is due, which I'm currently working on now. We're doing a lot. I personally want to do psychology as a major. Minor, I'm not sure yet, but that's something that I want to do because I know I can do it. Had A's and B's even down to when I was doing a whole lot in high school. I've always been good in school. It's not really anything that phases me. It's not really hard for me. It's just the fact that I need to get into it and start doing it. That's it. Get my degree. Call it a day. And we're going to manifest that that's going to happen, unless something else actually, like, you know, pans out for me, but we'll see. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying before. I don't like when people ruin my peace, as I'm currently talking about something that kind of ruined my peace, but yeah.